I thought you were taking it.
No, I thought you were firing it up.
Oh my gosh! All right.
Fire it up.
A
You
good
always
thing.
say, hey everybody, welcome. It's the
Yeah.
Bleacher
Well, yeah.
Bros.
Yeah. For sure. All right. All right.
It's
Here we
all
go.
good. Hey, take one. Here we go.
Go
Well,
ahead.
then I'm looking at Fox. My man's over there swinging a bat, and I'm like, hey, bro, let's put the bat.
That's
But
what I was looking at.
yeah, I'm
I was
like,
like, you
hey,
didn't say anything.
like, can we put the bat down? I'm
Yeah.
like,
Hey,
holy shit.
I got space in here now, so we're good.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right. All
Here we
right.
go.
All right. All right.
3, 2, 1. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Bryan Hill and Gavin Murphy, and we are here with a special guest, coach of the Savannah Bananas. Gavin, won't you introduce our guest for us?
Yeah, man, special guest. Excited about this one. I've been trying to get him on here, and I know scheduling conflicts being with the Bananas, and he's a busy man, but he's a legend in his own right, and anybody that knows him knows he is a legend. Errick Fox, welcome to the show. Can't wait to have you tell your story, man, and ask all the questions, and for people that might not know you to kind of hear your story and just get to know you a little bit more. And I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised with what they hear.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Glad to be on, man. Thank y'all for having me.
All right, we are here for the Bleacher Boys podcast. Fox, I'll start it off, then I'll turn it over to Gavin. Well, obviously, you're a coach on the Savannah Bananas, but let's start in the beginning. So why don't you kind of give us your background? Where are you from? What are you about? And what got you started in the great pastime of American sports, baseball?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. Born and raised, grew up in Atlanta. Kind of on the I kind of bounced back and forth from like the east side to the west side of Atlanta because my grandmother lived on the west side of Atlanta, which is like Bankhead area, Perry Holmes area, and then my mom, she kind of lived on like the east side, Stone Mountain, Lithonia area, which that's where I kind of went to high school and everything with. And I mean, yeah, that's where I kind of grew up at. That's where I spent a lot of time at. I mean, playing baseball in the Atlanta area. I mean, of course, like as you branch out into like the bigger baseball part, you got to go to like the East Cobbs areas and everything like that. But like growing up, it was all baseball on kind of like the east side, Redan Park, Stone Mountain area, and then just going up to East Cobb as I got older. And then just what I'm about, I mean, I'm all about being an energy giver. That's my whole thing. Like even I got a belt that says bring energy, give energy. Like I want to positively influence people to just be energetic and just be excited about just life. Like I mean, I'm even wearing a shirt that says you are enough. Like my whole thing is like just making sure being a positive influence to everybody. So that's just my whole thing. So
That's awesome, brother. I love it that you're from probably my favorite rap city. I'm a big
hey,
Atlanta guy.
speaking of that, I was just telling my boy Gavin about how they just came out with an album on Friday that is basically all of the rappers that were like big time local, and they're all Metro Boomin kind of brought them all together to rap. And I'm like, dude, this kind of reminded me of like this 2010 when I was just getting out of college.
Yeah.
It's giving
Hey,
me
don't
those.
show your age. Don't show your age. 22, just getting out of college. Don't show your age
Hey,
yet.
hey, bro, look, I don't mind it, bro, because I love that time of that period of time was like so much simpler than like now.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Yeah.
like now it's
100%.
like crazy, bro. Like even I'm 36 years old and I'm like, I can't believe some of the stuff that goes on now. So just to that listening to that music just kind of brought me back to like, oh man, I remember when times used to be so good. You can go out and not have to worry about if some crap was gonna happen and all kinds of stuff, bro. That's crazy. So now you go out and you be like, hey, I gotta make sure I get in the day Uber fast enough for some stuff go down for somebody want to try to beat me up
Yeah.
or shoot me up or something. So,
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about the way back, let's bust it back, man. Being from Atlanta, growing up, inner city, and not really having the luxury of, I guess the best way to say it is like prominent baseball, friend groups or anything like that. Kind of talk about how you got into it, what took you into it. I know, your brother, you and him are very close. It's your twin. And so I know you guys played together, but kind of take us back to like the beginning stages of what got you into baseball.
yeah, so I mean, we basically like the first sport I was ever introduced to was basketball because all of my family like loved basketball. Like from my dad to my uncles, like my mom's brother loved basketball like that. And I mean, of course, they're all 6'3" or above. So when you're that tall, you play basketball. So
Mm-hmm.
There used to be times where we go to the doctor and they tell us that me and my brother are gonna be like 6'7" or 6'8" or whatever. So I
Yeah.
know like, I was introduced to basketball first, and then like as time went on, like I mean, we went to elementary school, and then I just remember my brother coming home with a flyer about playing baseball, like t-ball.
Mhm.
And that's kinda how we got introduced to, like, playing baseball and everything like that, and then, I mean, we played that first year we played, and I remember my mom thinking that, like, we didn't enjoy it because I guess we just never came home just, like, super excited, and you know
Mhm.
me, like, I've always been kinda mellow, even as a kid.
Yes.
My mom didn't think we enjoyed it, but we told her that we loved it, and ever since that moment in T-ball, we've been playing baseball, so
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, man, kind of give us the rundown. Your story is very interesting. We're kind of shed some light that on some things that maybe some people don't know about you. And I know we've talked about it off camera, and you're completely fine with it.
mhm,
It doesn't define who you are as a person, and you stay grounded in who you are as a person.
yeah.
But talk about, early stages of life with, your prosthetic and what that looked like, and then, coming up through sports and how that kind of molded you into who you are today.
Yeah, so what's crazy is a lot of people don't know that I have a prosthetic.
Yeah.
Like, whenever this comes out, like, they're probably gonna be like, "What?" Like, that's crazy,
Yeah.
but, I mean, I do such a good job of, like, kinda, like, not really being like, "Oh, hey, look at me, I have a prosthetic." Like,
Uh-huh.
I want you to kinda, like, feel sorry for me, or I want you to give me, like, a little bit of empathy and stuff like that. Like, no, like, I've always been a type where it's like, I want you to see me being good at something and then being like, "Oh, crap, he has a prosthetic leg too?" But, yeah, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah, just coming up with that is just I mean, I've always had my mom and my brother and my grandmother to push me and basically just tell me, like, "Hey, like, you're no different than anybody else, and you could do whatever you wanna do in this world with the prosthetic as long as you do it." Thank God for my mom because my mom had a decision to make when I was young, when I was a baby, because I was born prematurely. So because of that, like I was born with the missing tibia bone, which is like the big leg in the big bone in your leg.
Mhm.
So as I started to grow, like my leg just kind of started to like to shape differently. So it was either like I was gonna be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life, or we could amputate it and I'd be able to kind of like live life like I'm living now, like being able to walk around like everybody else. Nobody really notices it. Like, and it took I mean, for a while there, like, my mom was telling me that we had to go to, like, a bunch of different doctors before we kinda got recommended to, like, the Shriners Hospital, who originally did it because nobody really knew what was going on, so that was kinda, like, a big part where I always tell my mom, like, I'm grateful that she made that hard decision to, like, kinda, like, have that surgery because I wouldn't be able to be in the situation I'm in now if I didn't have that surgery, so that's awesome. And then just coming up with it, I mean, I don't know, I never felt like I was, like, different from anybody else. I was
Uh-huh.
always able to, like, kinda just do stuff. I think it helped that I had a twin brother who I was able to, like, hang out with every single day and play with every single day, so it was just kinda like he kinda pushed me, and I pushed him too because I didn't let it hold me back, like, and we just always were able to just kinda do things together. So I feel like, I don't know, a lot of times, like, I mean, if a kid's kind of struggling with that, then it's probably because they may not have that person like I did to kinda be like, "Hey, look, like, you could do this." Like,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's the whole thing. I mean, I've always had my family to just push me into like, "Hey, you can do whatever you wanna do. You can do whatever. You're just like everybody else." And I remember it was times where I just didn't feel like I remember I used to wear jeans freaking every day in 100-degree weather because I was trying to hide it from people,
Yeah.
which was crazy because, like, nowadays, people like, "Hey, like, celebrate it," but back then when I was growing up, I feel like it wasn't like that. So
Nah, nah, and man, you bring up some good points there. Talking about your support system, but
mhm.
when we originally kind of talked about this, and I told Brian, I thought it would be good just for anybody out there, and especially in the position that you're in with the bananas and the platform that you guys have for anybody that might see this and gets told about it, and they might have a kid with some sort of disability or whatever it is. that they don't think that they can do it and do it at a high level, whatever it might be. And, you're living proof of that. And,
Yeah,
growing up and, kind of a different upbringing, and then, your prosthetic, it's a testament to, you can pretty much do anything you put your mind to. And like you said, you had a brother that kind of puts you in that mindset as well of like, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. Like, it is what it is.
yeah.
Like, figure it out. But man, it's
I,
awesome.
I did used to be scared. I did used to be scared to hang on like swing sets and jungle gyms. I used to be really scared that
Yeah,
they pop off. You just never know.
yeah, yeah.
I used to be
Brian,
scared of roller coasters and all kinds of stuff, bro.
you got anything, Brian? You got anything up to this point?
No, man. Like kind of like to echo what you're saying. I think it's for a lot of people. Me being a personal trainer, I'll come into contact with people all the time who have kind of always had it hard, or life became hard at some point and they really struggle. Maybe they're married or not married, or they struggle in a dating world, but they don't have the support system. And whether they're a younger adult, a middle-aged adult, even an older adult, um, seeing you, and like we'll get into more of your story as you go along, and I think it will open people's eyes even more that like you're you overcoming obstacles didn't stop, just as a child or even a teenagehood. Like
Uh-huh.
even for you to get to where you are, which is like a really awesome position, it's probably for a lot of people probably kind of like a dream job.
Yeah,
Whether you're making,
it's
probably $10,000 or $10 million, it's probably a dream job for a lot of people.
yeah,
That journey there was worth more than what a lot of people would be willing to put in as far as like the work and effort and tenacity. So I'll just let you guys keep on going because I think everybody should hear, what's to come down the road when they hear more about your journey.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Hey,
So
Brian, hold
go
on,
ahead.
Brian. I gotta say something. I like the Thor thing in the back.
Yeah.
I'm a big Marvel guy, and Murph was literally trying to roast me because
No,
he asked
no,
me what I
no,
was he
no.
asked me what I was doing before this, and I was like, bro, I'm watching like how they connected like the Marvel universe on YouTube and all that stuff, and he's like, bro, why are you watching that, bro? I'm like, come on, like
I
you got
gotta
No.
I gotta wait. No, before we start, I got a small size Captain America shoe. I'm getting the big one. I'm getting the
dude,
big one.
that's good. How much is that big one gonna cost you, bro?
Uh, it
Good,
doesn't
a
matter.
good
Like
penny, good
as
penny, a
much as
good penny.
yeah, as much as a new metal baseball bat, as much as my daughter's new ghost
Yeah.
softball bat does.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And I got comics. I won't show her. I don't want to move my screen, but I literally have like comic books and Funko Pops and all kind of Marvel stuff. So don't let Gavin clown you. 'Cause he's one of those guys that thinks he's too cool for the
No,
the.
no,
Trust
no,
me.
Okay.
no, no.
Trust
He didn't give any context. He didn't give any context. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Watching Marvel stuff." I'm like, What's Marvel stuff? Like, what are we talking about here?" So next time, some context, Fox. But speaking of context, we'll parlay into our next piece. So, man, I know going through the high school process and everything, but people don't know. You played college baseball. Anybody watching this that doesn't know you played college baseball for a very dominant in your time program with a great coach, great accolades, all the above. Talk about kind of that experience of you and your twin brother Derek going through the high school ranks, and then just kind of pick up at the point of like going into college, where you guys went, how you chose it, and then we'll kind of walk through your college experience.
Yeah, so I mean, high school, me and my brother, like we went to Lithonia High School, which is on the east side of Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we played baseball there. My brother played football. Like I never really played any other sports because I didn't really want to. I kind of was
Yeah.
just locked in on baseball. And I mean, I feel like I excelled at it. Like was a I was young and on the varsity team early on. Like what's crazy is like I wasn't even I played first base as like a sophomore, like started at first base, and I wasn't even a first baseman, but because like my coach, who is Justin Bishop, he's actually like the coach at Seconder now in Atlanta, who he was at Parkview for a long time. Because he wanted me on the team, because I was like I guess I was pretty good. Like he was like, "We're just gonna put you at first base." So
Yeah.
I started early on at first base, and eventually transitioned to like shortstop and third base and all that stuff. And like for me, like it was great, but for my brother, like my brother was still playing on like the JV team, so that kind of like put an edge on it. Remember, like I told you earlier, like we kind of like pushed each other.
Yeah.
So me being on the varsity team, that kind of put a chip on his shoulder. Like, all right, I'm gonna work a little bit harder, and I'm gonna be like the better player coming out of high school. Which he ended up doing. He ended up doing that, which I hate to say sometimes because I remember I was talking to somebody, man, and like my mom just randomly sent me like the stats from our senior year. And I was like, okay, like I batted like 420 or something. And my brother like batted like 600 or some crazy number like that.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Something stupid.
yeah, something crazy. But yeah, like coming out of high school, I mean, we had a few offers. Like we had some junior college offers. We had some Division 1 offers that were like a lot of them were like black colleges, which I mean I like black colleges, of course. Like we could have went to Alabama State, we could have went to like North
Mhm.
Carolina Central. I know we talked to FAMU a little bit, and I mean, the main thing was like we wanted to go somewhere where we could play together,
Yeah.
where we had opportunity to kind of like play together on the same field and play early as like freshmen. We
Mhm.
kind of didn't want to take that route where it was like, all right, we want to sit for 2 years and then it's like, okay, like you only got 2 more years to actually like play.
Yeah.
So that's whenever like our head coach, Justin Bishop in high school, he kind of talked to us about a place called Broome Parker. And he was like, man, y'all can go there and kind of play immediately. It's an NAI school. And, coming where I'm from, like it was like, all right, it's Division 1 or nothing. I had no
Yeah.
idea what NAI school was.
Mhm.
And I know he just talked to us about it. I mean, we went there for a visit. It was a culture shock because it's in the middle of nowhere, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, so it was definitely a culture shock. That coach basically told us like, "Hey, y'all can come in here and play right away," and we were kind of sold on that. We had pretty good scholarship money, and we was just like, "All right, we're just gonna take a risk on coming down here. As long as we're together, that's what we're gonna do." So,
Yeah. Yeah, nah. So let's carrying on to that and
mhm.
staying on that path. We'll go into your Bruton Parker days. You and your brother both accumulated a ton of accolades there. A lot of success, but more so talk about yours. Anybody that knows Fox knows he doesn't ever talk about himself really. So kind of putting him out of his comfort zone, but the one time I'm asking you to kind of brag about yourself here, like brag about yourself and, different accolades that you guys had coming out of there, your stats, anything like that. And I mean, let people know how much of a baller you actually were, and still are. I mean, I still see this man swing a bat, and we'll get into our coaching days, but our coaching days, you'd still get out there and swing a bat and do
Yeah,
anything that you were asking the kids to do. So kind of talk about that Bruton Parker days, who you played for. Shout out Boo Mullins. Maybe he'll listen to this, but yeah, but shout out Boo Mullins. But yeah, talk about that experience, man, what that was like.
yeah,
Because anybody that knows Boo Mullins that might listen to this knows he was not an easy man to play for.
yeah. So first, I'm gonna shout out Chad Parker because that's who recruited me and my brother
Yeah,
to come to Broome Parker. He had been there for a while, and I mean, he honestly, I'm grateful for anybody that's ever given me an opportunity to kind of like
yeah.
to live out my dreams. Shout out to Chad Parker. He ended up leaving like my sophomore year, and that's whenever Boo Mullins kind of showed up and kind of like turned the program into like what it was whenever I was there, like from like my sophomore year all the way up through till I was a coach there.
Mhm.
Boo Mullins, I mean, he was kind of a hard nosed guy. We practice from three to six. We'll go from 3 to 6 practice. He'd be like, "All right, go hurry up and catch the cafeteria before it closes at 6:30." Then he'd be like, "All right, be back out here at 7. We'll do something else from like 7 to 10." He did that just because I mean, I think he was trying to build something. Like at the end of the day, like whenever you're trying to I feel like whenever you're trying to build a program or build something up, like you gotta put in a lot of hours to kind of get that culture built. And that's what he was trying to do. He was like trying to build a new culture because before he got there, we were kind of like a 500 team.
Mhm.
And I mean, honestly, like the culture just sucked.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be honest. So, but then when he got there, he kind of like built up the culture. I remember me and my brother were kind of like on the cusp of leaving before he got there. And he kind of called me and my brother and kind of told us like, "Hey, we're gonna build the team around you." And I know like we went back, ended up like being like pretty good that first year, but then that next year he brought in like a bunch of junior college guys from like big time junior colleges like Chipola. And Florida JUCO's legit. Like he brought in a lot of
Yeah.
Florida JUCO guys. And then that next year we were like, I don't know, 40-10, won the conference. I was a 330 hitter that was my junior year at that time. So, and then I mean, by the time our senior year rolled around, like it wasn't like crazy practices like we had been used to or whatever, because he was like, "Hey, these guys have been here, they know the culture, they can coach each other up," which are the best teams. Like the best teams are like player led teams. When the
Yeah.
players can lead a team, then that's how you know the culture is like really good, because like the coach don't have to do nothing but go out there and like just hit the fungos, throw the BP, and the players are going to hold themselves accountable. And that's kind of like the team we had whenever I was at Broome Parker, which is why we were so good. Like those from that 2010 to about 2014, whenever like Boo Mullins left. That's why we were
Yeah.
really, really good from that times. And yeah, I mean, I was pretty good. Like I led the team in field percentage. I
Yeah.
led the team in batting average like my senior year. Like I ended my college career with like a 370 career average, which is pretty good. So
Yeah, no, it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. And then
yeah,
I
I
want
was
to
pretty good.
interject on something for anybody that thinks Fox is full of shit with these practices. If you're not familiar with NAIA, okay, back then NAIA was land of the Wild Wild West, and you could do what you wanted, when you wanted, and there was no rules like it is today, where NCAA you got your practice hours, and you can only run it from this time to this time, like. Back then and up until when I was in school, you could pretty much do a lot of what you wanted to do, and people didn't care. So don't
Yeah.
think my man is don't think my man's full of shit. Like he's telling
What's
the
funny,
truth, and Boo
what's
Mullins took
funny
advantage
is
of it.
like they came out by the time I became a coach at Broome Parker, they came out with this 10-week rule where
Yeah.
you only practice for 10 weeks. And I literally was like, yeah, they made that rule because they heard about Boo Mullins
Yeah.
practicing us from August to December for 7 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Well, man, I'm sure you missed a lot of your all conference accolades and stuff, because I know they're in there, but I'll just shout those out. Go ahead, B.
Hey, before we jump ahead, I got to ask, because you brought up East Cobb, which is kind of like my second home, because back before there was 90 perfect game tournaments a year, back when I played travel ball, there was uh what 2 perfect games in the summer, and I think 1 national tournament in the fall.
Yep.
Or I guess there was
Exactly what
technically
it
there was
was.
2, because
That's what it was.
there was one in
It was.
there was one in Jupiter in the fall, and then the one in East Cobb in the summer, and then there was like 1 each out in like I
Yeah.
think 2 out in California in the summer and the fall.
Yeah, and like it was when I was playing there, and like so I played for the travel ball team I played for was called like Competitive Edge Baseball, which is like,
Yeah,
and it
I
was
actually
under like,
remember them.
yeah, and it was under
Yeah.
like a guy named Tack Wilson, who like coached in the minor leagues as a third base coach for years. So I played for him, and whenever I played up at East Cobb and stuff, like it was literally like 1 or 2 tournaments, and you had to be like the top 60 team in the country. It wasn't like it is now where 300 teams are showing up and you got to drive
Yeah.
an hour to each field. Like it was at one place,
Yeah.
top 60 teams, come duke it out. That's what it was whenever I started, when I came up, which was awesome.
So yeah, I agree. Coming off that, I gotta ask, do you have any like kind of all-time moments at East Cobb specifically?
All time moments. I
Like
mean,
like do you or just like all time for you, or just like something that sticks out?
the team I played with, we made it to like the championship round a few times. I mean, the only thing that sticks out to me is the only time I ever caught, like ever was a catcher, was we were playing in the semifinal game, and like our catcher was sick, and my brother was pitching. So I was like, you know what? What I could catch, because I've caught my brother 1,000 times. So why not? And I didn't have a cup on. So it was like, hey,
Oh,
you better hope a foul ball don't come back there. You better pick everything. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and Murph's laughing because he's a catcher and he's like, He's like, ain't no way Fox is back there catching.
No, no. I've seen the man squat. There ain't no way. There ain't no way.
Hey, look. I get on my one knee now whenever I'm warming up our pitchers here with the bananas.
Yeah,
So
that's more like it. That's more like
we
it.
good. We good.
Gav, before we move on, Gav, do you have any all-time moments?
Man, I think the only one that I have from East Cobb, because when I was coming up, I was a little bit after you guys. They were starting to implement the different fields.
Yeah.
And I remember I got a call from a team down in the Fort Myers area called. Do you remember the Florida Pokers?
Yeah.
And so got a call. Lyndon Coleman, he's the coach at Pasco Hernando now, head coach there. Shout out Lyndon. He called me and asked if I wanted to come up like 2 days before, and so I went up there. And like the first game, we had to go into extras, and I was just catching the bullpen because nobody really knew me. They were just like, "Hey, we need another catcher," and so I go up there and hit an absolute laser off the wall in right center off the Orioles scout team, and I was like, yeah, that was all right, like whatever. And then I played the rest of the time up here, but that was about it. Yeah, I didn't come out of the game after that. I had one good swing, and they're like, "Hey, Fat Boy can hit. Put him back in the game." But man, we'll keep moving forward. So man, you finish up at Bruton Parker. Talk about your kind of transition into the coaching world, what you're doing now, which is kind of how we met. But talk about that transition, because I mean, I know we had talked about and just being friends and spending a lot of time together. You went and tried some other avenues, and you're like, nope, that's not for me. This is what you wanted to do. So kind of talk about that transition of your life.
Oh no.
So a little technical difficulties there, but we're back. We're good. We're rocking and rolling. So we're talking about, Fox, your transition into the coaching world. You didn't really want to do it. You weren't really keen on it. So talk about, what got you into it, and, what kind of drew you to the coaching world that, we're all familiar with.
Yeah, so court didn't want to do it. My coach was trying to push me to do it. Like my college coach, Boo Mullins, he was pushing me to do it. I'm like, man, I just don't know if I want to. The main thing was I just didn't know if I wanted to like be in Mount Vernon
Yeah.
for the next few years of my life, because I'm like, man, I'm a city boy. Like I like being in where it's like stuff going on, and freaking I just know I went back home after I graduated. My auntie got me a job at Macy's warehouse. Hated it. Absolutely hated the job. Auntie, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like I'm so sorry that I quit. So if you hear this, I'm so sorry that I quit. But I had to let that job go, man, because it just sucks so bad. And I
Yeah.
just felt like I wasn't like in my purpose.
Yeah.
So then, like, of course, like being at home after college, and like at that point, like I still was kind of in the house with my mom, and she's like, "Hey, like you got to go get a job somewhere." So I ended up working at Publix, which wasn't a bad job, but it wasn't a job where I was like, man, I'm waking up and I'm like ready to go to. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I know I can make an impact on people and just everything like that. So I was like, all right, I did that for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 months. And I don't know, like something just told me like, man, you need to just go try this coaching thing. I may have like, and at that time I remember like Drake's Take Care album was out. It had just came out. So I may have been in my feelings and like was like, man, you know what? Let me just go try this.
Yeah.
Let me go try this because I just don't know how it's gonna work out. And literally, dude, like I showed up to Broome Parker to go coach January 2nd, 2012, and
Mhm.
I haven't looked back since, honestly. Like I
Yeah.
love it, dude. Like I love it. I literally wake up every day and I'm like, this is what I want to do. Like I want to have an impact on the kids I coach, even kids that I don't coach. If I go to a showcase or I just meet them at a camp, I want to have just an impact on them like that. Like I love doing that.
Yeah. No, and it's awesome, man. And I know that's how, we met through, the world of baseball and you coaching, and we'll get
Mhm.
into that in a little bit. But so, you did Bruton Parker for a little bit, coached there, had a lot of success, got to see what winning culture was all about.
Yep.
As a player and a coach, and then you made the transition over to ABAC College. I think it's like, I don't even ask me how to say it. It's in Tifton. It's where all the
Abra-
ag kids go.
Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College.
There you go. Yep, that's where all the good old boys and good old girls go. And so you did some time there. What was that like? That and I can only imagine, being in Tifton a little bit, same kind of Mount Vernon type ish, Tifton, Georgia. Kind of talk about, what was that experience like for you being the head assistant there and the recruiting and all that?
Yeah, so transitioning from Bruton Parker and going to ABAC, like, so in between that time, like, I left Bruton Parker and I was at a high school for the first time, maybe for a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I really don't know how I like this high school thing. Like, I wasn't teaching or anything. I just was helping out with the high school. So then I got offered the job to go to ABAC. And of course, like, I was up in Atlanta for this high school thing. So, of course, it's another culture shock going from ABAC because so Broome Parker is on southeast Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
ABAC is in southwest Georgia. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit different if people don't understand that. Like, that part of Georgia is kind of different. Like, and I just remember showing up to ABAC and like, I remember there was like people riding horses, girls like in bikinis on horses, and I'm like, where am I? Like,
Yeah.
like what the heck is this? Like, there was a rodeo thing behind our field. I'm like, dude, what kind of place is this?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like being there, like, dude, I mean, once I got there, kind of got settled in, like, and started building relationships, dude. I love Tipton. Love
Yeah.
Tipton, bro. Love ABAC. Like, I mean, and you know how the junior college world is, man. Like, if you ain't working a second job at the junior college level, like you ain't getting really paid that much money unless you're just
Mm-hmm.
at like legit at a legit junior college, like
Yeah.
where money's being just thrown everywhere. But like, I just remember being there. Like, I made like $10,000 a year and I worked in a bar, which I'm fortunate that I worked in a bar because it gave me an opportunity to kind of meet like different country artists and kind of
Yeah.
get into like country music a little bit because I was a big like I'm just listening to rap kind of guy.
Yeah.
And then as I started to like do that, like I kind of like started like country, like I was meeting people like Old Dominion.
Yeah.
I met Luke Combs, hung out with
Mm.
him one night, drank some beer with him. So that was pretty cool. I mean, and then like from the baseball side of it, like we were good. Like, I mean, I remember my first year there, we were literally like 12-0 in conference, first place, and was pretty good. And then the next year we were pretty good. Like all those years I was at ABAC and the recruiting side of it was different because at Broome Parker, I was more focused on like trying to get like all junior college guys because it was NAIA, and that's to win at the NAIA level. Like
Mm-hmm.
you got to go get like more developed guys. But when I got to ABAC, it was like okay, like we going to get high school guys. So that was the first time where I kind of like was going into like the high school level to recruit players and talk to parents, and that was
Mm-hmm.
that was a little bit different. Like having to talk to parents and recruit those kids because it's like, hey, you gotta let those outside of just trying to convince the kid that this is the place for him to go. Like you got to convince those parents, like, hey, like we're gonna take care of your child when they get here because, like, you know
Yeah.
how it is. Like, I got children, so I know whenever my kids get ready to go to college, I'm gonna be like, hey, like, is this person gonna look out for my kid?
Mm-hmm.
Like, whenever they get ready to go to college, because I'm not gonna be able to be there with them all the time. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I loved ABAC though. ABAC was awesome.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point in the coaching world, and for anybody that's listening to this that might know somebody with a young kid, I've tried my best to keep it family friendly and keep the cussing to a minimum, so maybe B can cut that out, but or bleep it or something.
Oh, that's all right,
But
man. It's
but
just
you
we
bring
just
up
talk.
a yeah, but you bring up a good point, man, and the fact that like, people don't understand that, the sad truth is there are a lot of college coaches out there that they have one goal in mind, and that's just to win baseball games, and it's not, develop young men and teach people how to be a young, man. And it's sad, but it's the truth. And so you bring up a great point that, going through that process at ABAC, and I think it just kind of built you into who you are today. But yeah, no, that's a great point. B, you got anything?
Not really, but like I resonate as somebody who's like my daughter's in college now, so
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I coach her. I started coaching her travel ball team when she was 12, all the way up until her senior year because I was like, you need to play for somebody else in somebody else's system, have a different ear, because that's what you're going to do in college. I'm not going to not going to coach you in college. And we went. My daughter actually had a pretty tumultuous recruiting process, especially because I was the coach of her team for the year she was really getting recruited, which was, for most girls, their junior year, heading into their senior year. And we literally had every girl on our team, it was 15 girls, every girl on our team committed and signed except for my daughter going into her senior year. So you can imagine like how my daughter felt and how my wife definitely let me hear that my daughter was the only girl not being recruited, but I'm like, she's got to find a place that she loves and that loves her, because like I've been there. I was like, I had a great experience, but I know a lot of teammates that I had at both colleges I went to that didn't have great teammates because they were on the outside looking in, or maybe the coach didn't love them or favor them that much. And I don't even know, crazy and oddly enough, that ended up happening to my daughter anyways. So I'm definitely with you and definitely understand the experience. And I'm sure there'll be some people who are listening to this who have already been through this or going to be going through this, like you and Gavin, about 20 years from now as well.
Yeah,
that's
nah.
that's my main thing too, is like you just said, like picking the college that like loves you or is a good fit. Like that's my whole thing whenever I'm talking to, like, whenever I was coaching college baseball and everything like that, it was like, hey, like, don't pick us because like we're pretty good. Like, pick us because this is the right fit for you, and this is gonna be a good college experience for you. Because at the end of the day, like, people not gonna remember like that you batted 350 and hit 12 home runs. Like people not gonna remember that. They're gonna remember like how you were whenever you was a teammate at college. And I feel like if you don't pick the right fit, then you might be setting yourself up to be just kind of like a crappy teammate or just suck to be around, honestly. So like I was huge on that. Like, hey, like pick a good fit for you. Like, yeah, because I coached at Thomas University, ABAG, Broome Park, and I'm like, hey, tell me like if this ain't the place for you, because that's fine with me. I'll just go find somebody else who thinks this is a place for you. Because I'd rather you go somewhere where you're gonna kind of get the full college experience and enjoy it, rather than coming here just because we gonna win, I don't know, 35 to 40 baseball games a year. So
Yeah.
that was my whole thing.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to 350 for 12 home runs. That was literally what I did both of my years in JUCO. All right, back to the
Hey, you were
podcast.
stuck. You're stuck.
So we'll get back on track. So man, you went to ABAC and then our paths crossed. And I'm forever grateful that our paths did cross.
Thomas
You've
University,
been,
baby.
yeah, you've been you've been an outstanding brother, an outstanding friend, mentor, whatever words you want to use, you've been. And I'm extremely grateful for that. And so talk about that experience. Or, I mean, I guess I could talk about it a little bit more because you came in my senior year.
Hey,
Go
you
ahead.
remember that? Hold on. You remember that one time where you didn't show up to Tarp Pool or whatever, and like you went to go eat breakfast with your parents?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, mom and dad were in town. I was going to eat breakfast because you weren't. My fat ass, my fat butt. Sorry, my fat butt was eating. Okay, I wasn't going to pull no damn tarp.
Hey, bro, I'll never forget that. Oh my god.
But so our paths crossed my senior year. So my path in college was a little different. I went to a HBCU in South Carolina my freshman year. Absolutely loved it. Loved the school. Loved the people. Loved my teammates. Me and my coach at the time just did not see eye to eye. And there were just some things that were going on behind the scenes that I wasn't a fan of. And so I dipped out. Made it to Thomas University. Fox came in my senior year. And we just kind of developed a relationship of player and coach that was more so big brother, little brother. And Fox talked about being a bad teammate. I was that guy. It's probably like my one regret. And I don't have a lot of regrets. Yeah. I don't have a lot of regrets in my life, but that is probably my one like big regret, that I am just like, I wish I would have been a better teammate. And so me and Fox have talked about that a lot,
All right.
but,
All right, let me confess.
yeah.
You were not a bad teammate.
Yeah.
But you definitely thought it was all about you.
Yeah,
As you
yeah, I
sat
had
there
a little
explaining to me
yeah,
like, "Bro,
yeah.
this ain't the Gavin Murphy show.
Hey,
This
listen,
is
listen,
this
listen,
is the
listen.
Nighthawks, bro. The
Listen,
Nighthawks."
I it's my only child syndrome, okay? I thought I was entitled because I won a gold glove and I was, you know, an all conference player, so I thought I was that guy. I thought I was him.
Dude. See,
And I had to realize
I
that.
just wish I was coaching third base earlier in that year because I started off coaching first base, and I used to have to
Yeah.
tell you, like, "Get your ass to the dugout," because he's throwing his
Yeah.
helmet
Yeah.
and he's
It was
doing all
bad.
kinds of crazy stuff, dude. I'm just like, "Bro,
It was
go to
bad.
the dugout, bro."
It was bad. It was bad, but we don't have to dwell on that. So we'll move on. So we had a great time, man. And then my kind of transition into coaching, the short career that I had in it, basically came from, you know, Fox and our head coach at the time, Randy Adams, basically saying, "Hey, we would like for you to come and be a grad assistant for us, get a master's degree, and help us coach." And then that's when me and you really, you know, got a lot closer.
Yep.
And so at Thomas, we had a JV team that Fox was the head coach of, and he took me as the grad assistant. That he picked me to come help him out and learn from him. And we spent every single day together from about 2 o'clock till about 9 o'clock
Yeah.
throughout that year. And so it was a blast, man. I loved it. You taught me a lot about the game, and we had a lot of good laughs and a lot of fun. But man, yeah. So that's how our paths crossed, and so leading into, you know, where we're going next. So then, you know, I ended up leaving Thomas and going to TCC, and you remained at Thomas. So talk about, you know, that period of your life. There's some more that we can unbox here, and
Yeah.
we will. But talk about that kind of period of your life. You know, what was next for you in that COVID kind of time, because that was about the COVID time when I
Yeah.
left and you stayed. What changed in your life at that point in time?
Yeah. So originally, I showed up to Thomas University because one of my like best friends in the world, Randy Adams, was the head coach at the time. He had just got the job, and he was like, "Man, look, I know like me and him was on the showcase grind. Like when I was at ABAC, we were on the showcase grind like pretty much every weekend in the off season. It
Mm-hmm.
was always me, Randy Adams, and Corey Pye, and we were always together, going to recruit players and just riding together and stuff. So when he finally got that head coaching job at Thomas, he was like, "Hey, look, like I want to bring you here as my assistant. I know that like the pay at ABAC is not great. We could do this for you." And pretty much, I was kind of sold on coming to Thomas. And they also mentioned that like, hey, like while you're here, you can get a master's.
Mm-hmm.
So going into it, my whole thing was like, all right, I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna work my butt off on the baseball field, and I'm gonna get a master's degree. That way, whenever I'm trying to like kind of get like other jobs in the college world, that won't be a thing where they're like, okay, like he don't have a college degree or a master's degree. We can just cross him off the list because that'll just narrow down like who they're looking for. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm getting a master's. So that was my initial goal coming into Thomas. Then of course I get there, we're pretty good, like, we're not bad your senior year.
Yeah, we
We're
we
like
set
a
the record for most games won at that point in time.
yeah, we were pretty good. It was a lot of stuff that, like we had a lot of new players that year too, so it was a lot
Mm-hmm.
of stuff that we were kinda trying to change from the old regiment of Thomas
Mm-hmm.
University. So, like, we kinda went through battles with stuff like that, but ultimately, like, we still kinda were able to, like, form a good culture, kinda win some games, get into the playoffs again, and do pretty good that year. But then that next year is whenever, like, we were actually really, really good. That's when
Mm-hmm.
Gavin became, like, an assistant, which we wanted him to be an assistant because he knew the game. Like, he was one of our guys where we kinda depended on as a player who was, like, smart, able to, like, talk to the players and able to even though he was a hothead sometimes, he knew the game and, like, knew where everybody was supposed to be. Like, the same qualities I had as a player where, like, there was like, "Alright, Fox knows what everybody's job is."
Hmm.
Gavin had those same qualities, and I was like, "Dude, he'll be a really good guy to come coach for us because if I ever have to go somewhere, then I know he'll be able to, like, jump in the spot I'm in and, like, coach the team, and it won't miss a beat."
Mm-hmm.
So that kinda happened. That's how me and him kinda formed a relationship, and I mean, of course, like, hanging out off the field and all that stuff, like,
Yeah.
we formed a relationship like that too, but then, like
Yeah.
then I ended up what's crazy is we ended up being pretty good. We actually won the conference
Conference.
tournament that year.
Yep.
And we're 2 games away from the World Series. And around that same time is whenever I met my ex-wife, which is why I ended up in Thomasville for so long, because I met her, we started kind of hanging out and everything like that. And then I don't know, we just kind of fell in love and got married, had a kid with my son Elam, and I
Mhm.
was in Thomasville until then, honestly. And I'll probably go back to Thomasville eventually because my
Yeah.
kids are there. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's just kind of what happened, and then that's how I ended up being at Thomas for I don't know 6 years.
Yeah.
It went from being like, all right, I'm gonna go here to get a master's, so I'll be there for 2 years to I'm coaching there for 7 years or 6 years. I can't remember how long it is. So
Mhm.
crazy. Hey, can
Yeah.
we pause this? Because I really gotta use the bathroom.
Go for it. Just go for it.
I'm just glad the Wi-Fi is holding up.
Yeah. I'm not gonna stop it. I'm just gonna cut it out.
Yeah, no, that's fun. That's fun. Dude, we got a lot to unfold on our next one. There's just been a lot in the sports world.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, you got Emmanuel Clase on a damn leave for gambling. You got the race, the damn pennant races coming down to the wire.
Hey,
I
shout out to
mean,
the Brew Crew leading division back-to-back years.
dude, shout out to the Brew Crew leading all of MLB up until yesterday in record.
Yeah.
Are they still holding it? I think they're still holding it.
I haven't paid attention since Saturday. Friday. I've been super busy. We went out of town.
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you in like 2 seconds, Bo. I'm gonna tell you in like 2 damn seconds.
All right, sorry, dudes. That's what happens
No,
when
you,
you're trying to hydrate in Savannah, Georgia, and you just gotta use the bathroom sometimes.
no, you're good. You're good. 64, 69 and 44. Dude, yeah, no, they are the leaders right now. They have the best record in baseball still.
I love
The
my
Brewers.
Brew Crew.
The
but
Brewers,
they fall apart in the playoffs. I'm hoping they
yeah.
can hold it together for a year. 1 year.
You're a big Brewers guy?
Yeah. I originally I grew up a Braves fan because my dad's a Braves fan.
Yeah.
But when I was in high school, I used to train with Ricky Weeks.
Really?
And then in the 8th grade, I actually played in the what's it called? Like the road before the road to Omaha tournament
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
College World Series, and
Yeah.
we stayed in the same resort as University of Miami, and I was 2 rooms over from Ryan Braun.
Oh, that's
Um,
sick.
and then like back on
Dude, Ryan Brown
MLB
was a
2K,
stud.
I used to love playing with Ben Sheets, and then I played on the Juice, Chet Lemon's Juice,
Chad Lemon.
and
Yep.
Ricky Prince Fielder used to play for him, and so did Ricky. So they used to come out to our practices, and I end up training with Ricky in the off seasons because we had the same strength and conditioning coach. And I was like, man, I'm just gonna be a Brewers fan for life.
I was
And
about to say,
rock
like,
with
all
'em.
those Brewers guys was right there near you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy.
You had to be a Brewers fan.
All right, we can get back to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. You let me know and give me the countdown.
Go for it. Just
All
go
right.
for it.
So man, so you have Elam, you meet your ex-wife, you have Elam, and then you have your daughter, Michaelin.
Michael.
And I know those two are the biggest blessings in your life.
Hey. Can't forget about my stepson too, Max.
Your stepson Mac, yeah, I forget it, yeah, Mac. And so I know that your kids are your biggest blessings in your life, man. You're all about them. You're a great father. You've made many of sacrifices to be there for your children and not be an absentee father, which is a testament to your character and who you are. So talk about, man, and we'll drop a little nugget of where you are today, but we'll backtrack a touch. 2016, 2017, you do a interview for a summer baseball gig with a team called the Savannah Bananas, and you get that job when it's just summer baseball. So take me through that.
Well, all right. So originally, I was still at ABAC,
Okay.
and I had talked to. This is before Tyler Gillum, who's the head coach now.
Yes.
That's before he became a head coach. I had talked to Sean West about who's the Banana started in 2016, and Sean West was the first head coach of the team.
Yes.
And I originally talked to him about coming to coach with the Bananas in 2017.
Okay.
Because I was like, all right, I never really coached like summer ball. I'd be interested to try to do it because I've never seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
So then I saw that they were hiring. So I put in like an application, whatever. He called me. We talked a little bit. It ended up not working out. This is 2017 summer. So you fast forward it to I had got the job at Thomas University July 2017.
Yep.
2017? Yeah. And literally go through that year, or I go through that fall. And that's whenever Tyler Gillum, who's now the head coach of the
Mm-hmm.
Bananas, he gets the Bananas job in 2018. Pretty much how it all worked out is like he had already hired a pitching coach, which was like his boy Andy Lopez from like Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So then he was looking for two more coaches that were from the Southeast area, like one from Florida and one from Georgia. So like if we kind of need like a player that was like, let's say if we needed a player really quick,
Mm-hmm.
of course we're in Savannah, Georgia. So like one of us could probably like reach out to somebody and be like, hey, like, can you get this guy up here? Because we know it's in Georgia.
Yeah.
So he originally reached out to a guy named Conrad at Santa Fe College, which is in Gainesville, Florida. Conrad ended up like not really taking the job, but he was like, "Hey, like I got my boy who's our assistant here. His name is Lance Lammer." And he was like, "Hey, like he'll be a good fit for you guys."
Mm-hmm.
So then Gillum talked to Lance, and like Lance was like, Lance was like, "Dude, this sounds good." Like he called me because me and Lance at that time were like best friends.
Mm-hmm.
We'd been doing like recruiting stuff together and everything like that. And he called me and was like, "Hey, like, would you be possibly interested in coaching like with the Savannah Bananas?" And I was like, "Bro, like, I talked to them last year about coaching." And I was like, "Are you thinking about going to do that?" And he was like, "Yeah, but I kind of wanted to see what you were gonna do because for that at that point, like for 3 summers in a row, like me, Lance Lammer, and Corey Pye and Randy Adams had always been together
Mm-hmm.
doing showcases. So it's kind of like, all right, we kind of don't want to break up the gang,
Yeah.
but like, so he was like, hey, like, would you be interested to do it? I was like, I mean, yeah, like, why not? I was trying to do it last year. Like, I was like, I guess whoever's the head coach is, like, tell him to give me a call and we'll just go from there.
Mm-hmm.
So then Gillum ended up calling me. And of course, like, he heard my story about like how I played college baseball with a prosthetic
Mm-hmm.
and I was a really good player.
Yeah.
So, and then I mean, and like being with the Bananas, like it's always like trying to like find those guys that are like that are different, that are plus the experience, that will be foxhole guys
Yeah.
that you can depend on. So I know I talked to Gillum literally like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. And he was like, do you want the job? And I was like, and of course I wanted the job, but I was like, all right,
Yeah.
let me play it cool. I
Yeah.
don't want to be like, heck yeah, bro, I want this job. So I was like, let me play it cool. I was like, hey, like, can I call you? Because it was like a Friday when he called me. I was like, can I let you know by Monday?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me think about it for a weekend. Like, I gotta talk to somebody about it or something. I ain't talked to nobody. All I did was like, I'm doing it. So then I called him on Monday. Like, first I told my boy Lance, like, hey, like, we about to go do this thing in Savannah. And he was like, heck yeah. So then I called Gil and was like, hey, like, I'm in, like, let's do it. And he was
Yeah.
like, we were all excited and I've been here ever since. So
Yeah. Yeah. So that leads us to our next things. You started when, and a lot of people don't know this. So the Bananas, they started out as just summer baseball.
yes.
And for anybody that's not familiar with summer baseball, it's a, collegiate summer league. A lot of times, you can have some high school kids, but a lot of times it's college players would bat. And basically it is to kind of get kids that have pro aspirations or kids that, I don't know. I've always looked at summer baseball as if you want to play at the next level, you're going to play 50 games in the regular season, and then you're going to go play another 45 to maybe 60, depending on where you're at in the
Yep.
summer. And then you're getting 100 games, and it helps with scouts and anything else. And we can deep dive that another
Yeah.
time. But started out as summer baseball doing your gimmicks and not gimmicks, but your entertainment side. And a lot of times that's what
Yeah.
summer baseball is about. It's a lot of entertainment, and guys love to go and do it. So you start out with that. You're at Thomas University now, and then COVID hits. No, of course, I don't think did you guys do summer ball that year?
Yeah, we did. So
Yes.
and what's crazy is like, dude, so I always tell people this, like, to this day, like, Tyler Gillum is like one of the best baseball coaches I've ever been around.
Mhm.
Like, and for me, it's like Gillum, Boo Mullins, like
Yeah.
smartest guys I've ever been around when it comes to baseball. And then like I just like me coming with the Bananas that first year in 2018. I learned so much from like Gillum and just kind of just observing him and watching him manage. And I literally brought all that stuff back to like Thomas University for
Mhm.
that 2019 season where we were actually like we won the conference and was like 2 years away from like being like in the World Series. So like it's funny like when people think about like how it is now, like the banana ball thing, they're like, oh, like is it real?
Yeah.
Is it not real? From that 2018 to that 2022 span, we were the best team in our league every
Mhm.
year. They used to come out with summer ball rankings and we were top 2
Every
every
time.
year. And of course they're not gonna put us above like a Cape team just because it's the
Mm-mm.
Cape. All those
Yeah.
dudes are freaking number 1 draft picks.
Yeah.
But because we were the best team every year in our league, led in a lot of statistical categories, like you just couldn't deny us, honestly.
Yeah. No, and that's true. And so you're there doing the summer ball thing. COVID hits. You're still doing it. Now insert ex-wife, Elam, your son, the pup, and now you are making a transition into a different world. Talk about that going from college to no more college, and I'll let you take the floor.
Yeah, so yeah, 2020, I mean, just a lot of things changed,
Mhm.
just from my career, from my just relationship status, because I got married in 2020. Elon was born in 2020.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, COVID happened in 2020. And that's kind of when like the Bananas, like we were still selling out games. We get 4,000 fans here at Grayson Stadium and everything like that. Like, and we were still like legit at baseball. Guys still getting drafted like that played here. But like from an entertainment standpoint, that's when the Bananas like just kind of really took off and banana ball became a thing. Like
Yeah.
we played our first banana ball game, which is funny. We were just at Camden Yards, and a guy that pitches for the Orioles, K. Povich, was the first pitcher to pitch in a banana ball game.
Okay.
The first ever banana ball game that we had here at Grayson Stadium. He was the pitcher.
Yeah.
He was a starting pitcher. And like, yeah, like that's where the Bananas just kind of took off from like the entertainment standpoint. And the social media just started just taking off in 2020. Cause at that time, the only thing people could do was look at social media and everything like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of when I knew like the Bananas was gonna kind of go into like another stratosphere.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I mean, I just was like, dang, like this is, I mean, it's awesome, honestly. And then like from a relationship standpoint, like yeah, like I said, I got married, I had my kids, kind of going into like fatherhood was just different
Mhm.
because it was like I tell people all the time, like they'll be like, how it is being a dad, like I'm like, man, it's just something that you could never prepare for it.
Yeah.
You can't. It's nothing you could do to be prepared to be a father. Like you could go read all the books, you could go buy all the stuff you might need, but at the end of the day, like real life decisions are being made whenever you're actually having to take care of another human being.
Mhm.
So it's like I don't know, like I love it, dude. Like it's the best. Being a dad is the best thing I've ever done, and
Yeah.
I feel like coaching is like I used to always think like, all right, coaching kids, watching them grow up, get married, become fathers is like the best thing I've ever done. But when I became a dad in 2020, dude, it was just an unbelievable feeling. Like
Yeah.
unbelievable. Like to this day, like I'm just like, bro, it's the best thing I've ever done. Like
Yeah.
the best thing. And the
And
best
so
thing I ever will do.
yeah. And so talk about that. Talk about so you took a period of time away from college baseball, the Bananas.
Yeah.
You more so focused on being I guess the best way to put it is you more so focused on being a dad,
Yeah.
being, home more because, the college grind, the banana grind, you're gone all summer. You don't get to go home. So you took that time away, and what were you doing in that time? Just for anybody out here
Yeah.
listening.
So like I coached with the Bananas the 21 and the
Mhm.
22.
Yep.
And that's when I was still at Thomas University at the time.
Yep.
And in 21, 22, we won back to back championships, everything like that. Then I don't know, 22 year came around. That's when the Bananas were like they're gonna transition into banana ball. So at the time, they didn't really need they had already had like coaches in mind, and it was kind of like I don't know, it was kind of like guys like Eric Burns,
Mhm.
where I don't blame you. Like take it, yeah, get Eric Burns because that dude's an ex major leaguer. He's a face.
Mhm.
He's gonna promote the brand. He's gonna make people come out and see the bananas more.
Mhm.
So it was like, yeah, like we're kind of getting rid of like the coaches. Not I won't say getting rid of, but we're just not gonna have the coaches
Mhm.
that have been here, which I understood because at that point in my life too, I was at a place where I was like, all right, I'm gonna kind of take a break from coaching with the bananas. And
Mhm.
this is 2022. So then I coached one more season of college baseball. And then I literally was like, all right, I'm a like my ex-wife wanted me to like kind of transition into kind of like coaching, being at the high school, coaching high school baseball,
Mhm.
staying there like I'm gonna have more time, which to me I was kind of like, hey, like I feel like I got plenty of time because I'm as a college coach because I'm at home in the morning with my kids.
Mhm.
And then we only practice till about 5 o'clock, 5:30 every afternoon. So I'm able to go home and eat dinner with my kids.
Mhm.
I'm able to give them a bath, read a book to them at night. So, and I'm also getting a master's at the time. So it's like I'm able to accomplish all this stuff while being a college coach. So me going into the high school level, which is what my ex-wife wanted me to do, just didn't make sense to me because I was like, that means I'm gonna have to be up at 7 o'clock to be at the school, which takes time away from my kids in the mornings. And then like I knew like being a high school baseball coach, the only time frame you could practice is from after school, which is 4 o'clock to 6:30, 7 o'clock, because you're gonna have a
Mhm.
3 hour practice. So it's kind of like, okay, like this is not a smart decision, but you know what? I'm gonna do it anyway, just because I want to try to satisfy my wife at the time.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
I ended up doing like high school baseball and everything like that. Which
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved high school baseball. Loved it. I won't say that I hated teaching, but like the thing that got me with teaching is that being a college baseball coach for 12 years is I was so used to kind of being able to maneuver whenever I wanted to. Like being like, all
Mhm.
right, I can make out my own schedule. I can go grab lunch when I want to. I can go do this if I gotta go take care of it. I can take my kids to a dentist appointment. I can take my kids to a doctor's appointment. And then when you become a teacher, you can't do that stuff. Like you could do
Yeah.
it, but your pay's getting docked
Yeah.
because you're not in the school building and you gotta be there from 8 to 3 every day. And
Yeah.
if you're not there, then it's like, hey, like we gotta just you won't get paid for that hour you're not there. So that
Mhm.
was the kind of thing that just made me be like, I don't know about this teaching thing. And that's not to say that I won't ever go back to it.
Yeah.
But that's just for Sam. For me, that was just like, okay, this is different compared
Yeah.
to like coaching college baseball and being able to like maneuver or coaching with the bananas and being able to like have like that free will to just kind of go do your thing, like get the schedule, kind of make your schedule around what that schedule is, and then go from there. As a school teacher, like it's like, hey, this is what it is. You're here from 8 to 3. You ain't got no options. That's
Yeah.
what it is. You
No.
gotta be here.
And so I know that, and I know, through mine and yours conversations throughout that time frame, I know it was weighing on you heavy being away from, your kids and missing out on some things that, you as a
Yeah.
father felt like were very
Yeah.
important. And I
Whenever
know that.
when I became a teacher, like that was the first time where I was and it wasn't mainly just because I was teaching, because I was coaching baseball as well.
Hmm.
That was the first time in my life where like I was kind of missing stuff that was going on in my kid's life. Like where it was like, all right, they got this. Oh, I can't be there because we got practice after school. Or
Yeah.
like in the mornings, like I'm having to instead of being at the house hanging out with my daughter, because at that point my son he was going to school or whatever.
Hmm.
So him was fine. But I felt like, okay, like I'm missing out on this time that I used to have with my son, with my daughter in the mornings because I'm having to be up at a school at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's the part that kinda like got to me a little bit. It wasn't
Hmm.
like the paperwork that I had to do at school. It wasn't the students because the students were awesome. It wasn't the people that I worked with because I loved everybody there. The part that got me was just like, okay, like I'm missing this valuable time that I spent with my son with my daughter
Yeah.
because I'm having to be somewhere at 7:30 in the morning now instead of, all right, you're a college coach, you ain't gotta be there till 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. So
that's the
now,
part. That's the part that got me.
yeah. So take me through, man. So, we're kind of caught up on the life of Errick Fox, and now we can dive into this, piece where you're sitting right now in this locker
Yeah.
room that's got all the swag behind it. And
I don't
tell
know
me
about
of
that.
yeah. So tell me, man, so you go back to the Bananas with the banana ball, you're doing the tour, you're I will call it a single father. Tell me what life is like. I mean, how do you juggle it? It's a testament. I mean, anybody that doesn't follow you on Instagram needs to, because it's a testament to see you out here with Cam Ward and Adam Jones and Ryan Clark and all these people on the weekends, and then you're still making time to drive that, what is it, 3 hours from Thomasville to Savannah?
Yeah,
And
3.5.
yeah, you're still making that 4 hour, what's called 4 hour drive from Savannah to Thomasville to be a present father, to do things with your kids. I mean, tell me about where you're at now, and
Yeah.
where you're at in your life.
Well, we'll start off by talking about just how I got here. So I became a teacher. At that point, I'm still married, and then I kind of I went through a divorce.
Yep.
So I went through a divorce in January 2024.
Yep.
Is whenever the first time I was ever like in my own house, away from my kids. And what's funny is like I talked to Gillum. I talked to Gillum in like June of 2024 and was like, he was asking me about coming back with the Bananas. Actually, I talked to him that fall. I talked to him when I was still married about coming back with
Mm-hmm.
the Bananas that summer. And I was like, oh, let me talk to my ex-wife, blah, blah, blah. Let me talk to her first, see how she feels about it. She didn't want to do it. So I didn't do it. And then he asked me again in June. And I just was kind of at a point where I was like, man, I don't want to make any rash decisions
Mm-hmm.
because I just got divorced. I don't want it to be like, all right, screw this. I got 2 kids involved, like that I was with every single day.
Yeah.
So I was let me just kind of think this thing through. So like all of 2024, I kind of spent like my life just kind of like rebuilding myself, trying to figure out who I was as a person outside of like being a husband.
Mm-hmm.
2020 to 20 From 2020 to 2024, like I spent like my whole time like being a baseball coach and a husband and a father.
Yeah.
When 24 came and I was like getting divorced and all that stuff, like I had to figure out myself first before I decided I was like gonna go back to the Bananas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like, all right, just take your time, like go through the healing process of divorce. For anybody out there that's ever been divorced, they know about like the healing process and know that you just can't jump into anything because that's whenever you start making bad decisions because you're still hurt. You might not know you're
Mm-hmm.
hurt, but you're still hurt. So like I went through a whole healing process before I made any decisions about doing anything. And I just remember how I made it back here. Like I'm a Christian. So if
Mm-hmm.
anybody know, I'm a Christian. And I just remember I read the Bible every night, every morning before I went to work, after work, and I would always read devotionals. And like in my devotional that I would read every single night, it would always tell me to like take a risk or go do something that you don't think you ever do. And I never thought that I was going in my life when my kids were born, I never thought that I would be away from them.
Mm-hmm.
Never ever thought that I would be away from them. Never thought that I would like when I was married, I never thought I was gonna go through a divorce.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I never thought I was gonna go through. So it was hard for me to imagine, like, all right, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna move 3 hours away from my kids. That was the toughest part. I battled with that from like the time I got asked to be with the Bananas in like July,
Mm-hmm.
all the way to December when I finally made a decision to come do it. But it was like things just telling me like, hey, like you should go do it. You should go do it. You should go do it. You should go do it just to see how it is gonna work out. And like the final sign was like, and like my grandmother who passed away in January, she had cancer. She's going through cancer, and me and her would talk every single day, every single day. And like the final sign was like her being like, and before when I used to talk to her about going back to the Bananas, her whole sentiment was like, you don't need to leave them kids. Like you don't need to leave those kids.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to leave those kids. Like you need to make sure you're there, dude. And I swear to you, when I was at home for Christmas in December, out of her mouth, she was like, "I think you need to go coach with the Bananas."
Yeah.
Out of her mouth. And when she said that, I was like, "Are you serious?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "All right." And I was like, I'm going." Like, when she said that, I was like, "I'm going." And I'll never forget, like, I mean, it's been awesome since. Like, yeah, like the travel 3 hours is kinda crappy, but you gotta pick and
Yeah.
choose. No matter what you do in life, there's always gonna be a crappy part about it. Like, no matter what job you work, no matter what you do. So you have to pick and choose, like, "Alright, do I wanna be a teacher and sit in the classroom for 8 hours? Or do I wanna go be a baseball coach and then drive 3 hours to go see my kids?" I picked that one because I'm like, "You know what? Imma suffer in one of them. Imma suffer in that
Mhm.
8-hour class, or Imma suffer making that 3-hour drive."
Yeah.
Imma go drive. I'd rather drive 3 hours and do what I love every single day, honestly.
Yeah. And still get and probably get more time with your kids.
Exactly,
Yeah. Yeah. And
exactly.
so,
Like,
yeah,
outside of the fact of, like, me not being able to just pop up over there,
yeah.
like, I still go hang out with them, like, in the off season, I'll be able to go hang out with them, like, our head coach, Gillum, Gillum's, like, one of my best friends. He understands the whole situation, and he's like, "Hey, I think you should just go instead of coming to this thing, I think you should go hang out with your kids,
Mhm.
be with them because I know how much you love them, how much you've always been there with them. Like, go take care of that, and we'll figure out everything else." Which is
Yeah.
why, dude, to this day, I'll go to bat for Gillum, and I love Gillum. But I feel like every coach that I've been with's been like that. Like, I don't feel like I've ever been in a situation where, since I've had kids, where I've had a coach be like, "You can't go show up for your kid's t-ball game, or you
Yeah.
can't go show up for your kid's swimming lesson or swimming thing or school event." Because, like, my stepson's he's 8 now, about to be
Mhm.
9 August 11th. I've been doing stuff for him since he was 2, so it's never been a situation where it was like I had a coach where they were like, "Yeah, you can't go do this with your kid." So, which
Yeah.
I'm fortunate because I'm it's probably guys out there like that.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
fortunate that I've had people in my life that work with me and be able to, like, give me that flexibility to go see my kids and hang out with my kids and everything like that.
Yeah. B, you got anything over there, man? So you just tuned into
No,
the story.
yeah, I'm locked in, man.
Yeah.
We're good. We keep it rolling.
Yeah, so man, we'll go to this last chapter that we're on now in words. I'm gonna use better words because this is not the last chapter for Errick Fox, but we're gonna go to the chapter that we're in now for Errick Fox. Man, you're living the dream. You're in a different city. It feels like every single weekend, every day I check Snapchat and I got a Snapchat sitting in there from you, and you're going and getting coffee or a bagel from someplace, and it's got a tag, and I'm like, this guy. Um, but man, the impact that you guys are having is insane.
Yeah.
What you guys are doing, I've been fortunate enough. I've gone to 2 games now here in Atlanta, and then we made the trek up to Nashville and watched you guys in Nissan Stadium. And man, just from an outsider's perspective, and I'm going to give you the floor, but an outsider's perspective being around you and the Bananas and, the banana, I guess, culture, family, whatever you want to call it, you can tell there's a lot of for the majority, there's a lot of genuine care for each other and a lot of genuine care for what you guys are doing and
Mhm.
the impact that you're trying to make and, about the fans and fans first. But man, I'll let you have the floor about, what it means for you to be a part of what's going on in this, generational run that you guys are having of, captivating entire stadiums. I mean, tell us about it, man. Like, give us the rundown. How does it make you feel? I know we've had conversations, but go, man. It's yours. Go.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's awesome, man. Like, I never thought I just never thought that a lot of the places that I've been, I never thought I would see,
Yeah.
honestly. And it's just awesome, man. I mean, it's all credit to, like, of course, like, our guys and all the players, man. But the guy who started is Jesse Cole, then his wife Emily Cole, then you got Jared Orton, who's our president. Like, they all had a vision, and I mean, it's coming to fruition right now. Like, then you tag on, like, Tyler Gillum, who's here to, like, kind of plus it even more, and it's just like those people in this organization just kind of set the standards and the culture, and it's been unbelievable, man. Like from the dude, it's crazy. You can't even fathom it because
Yeah.
it's just I remember what this place was like whenever we were here in 2018, and we had I don't know, 6 full-time workers and, like, all interns. It was awesome then. We were still selling out Grayson Stadium
Yeah.
4,000, but to go to places like Clemson, sell out 81,000, run down the hill with Dabo,
Yeah.
like, just that's crazy. Like, me being able to throw BP in cages to, like, former big leaguers, kinda being able to pick their brains about hitting and what their thoughts about it is just it's just stuff I would've never imagined, honestly, like, I would've never imagined. I remember what's funny is, like, I'm in Savannah, Georgia right now, like, got a house here and everything, and one of my friends that I went to college with, his name is Philip Lee. Shout out Philip Lee at Calvary Day. They just won a state championship this year. He wanted to offer me a job to come coach at the high school there.
Mhm.
And this was last summer. And I was like, there ain't no way in, excuse my language, hell
Yeah.
that I'm moving back to Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Yeah.
just knew my situation with my kids and everything. Like, for me to just be sitting in this chair right now, like, talking to you, being with the Bananas again, it's crazy, dude. I would have never thought it, like, and it's just all due to just all the hard work everybody put in every single day, from being fans first, entertainment, to our guys going out there and just working hard to execute trick plays, building a fan experience. Like, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, I can tell you, me sitting in the chair I'm sitting in, being out of the game now, I still love the game of baseball, and I think at some point down the line, I will try and give back a little bit more. We've had conversations, and I won't
Thank
dive
you.
into, yeah,
Thank you.
we've had conversations, and I won't dive into it too much, but I got burnt out, and so, but it's amazing to see a guy that has been through so much in his life and has had to overcome so many obstacles and doesn't use anything as a crutch, continues to just put his head down and go to work each day. And I'm sitting there watching TV in the mornings, eating breakfast, and one of my best friends is on Sports Center. And and yeah, I mean, it's awesome, dude. Like, I'm sitting there and you're throwing BP and you're playing catch with a kid that's in the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and you can just see the smile on his face, and it makes my heart happy because I'm like, that's my guy. Like, I love that guy right there. But it's awesome, man. And I see you and how happy it makes you, and what you're doing every day and interacting with people and the kids, and it's a testament to the type of person you are, how you were raised. I know it wasn't easy, but man, it's awesome, and I love it for you, and I'm so happy that you got to get on here and tell a little bit about your story, and kind of give people a little insight into who you are, just
Yeah,
a
for
coach
sure,
on
man.
the Bananas.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, and I got something else to say. For anybody that thinks that banana ball is not competitive, just ask my boy Gavin Murphy
Yeah.
and all of my guys that play baseball at a high level what they think about it when they come to a game.
Yeah, yeah, it's insane, dude. It's insane. Like, me and Bryan have talked about it. Like, I mean, because we all three of us played baseball at a high level.
Yeah,
And I was telling him it's insane to watch somebody like the case in point, Bill Leroy, your
yeah.
catcher. He's been with you guys as long as you've been there.
Since
Um
2018. Yep.
yeah, and to watch him go out, call a game on a pitch clock or a game clock, and then he's entertaining as well and doing skits and bits in between, and he's catching balls behind his back. Like, it's hard to fathom as a baseball player that played at a high level to go out and do that, and not only do that, but to do it live in front of 81,000 fans.
Yeah, dude, it's
Like,
crazy, dude. Like these dudes, they work hard, man. Like people think I get so many questions about like do y'all just show up and like practice dancing? Like do y'all ever practice baseball? And I'm just kind of like yeah, like you can't just show up and just do like a trick play
yeah.
and be able to do backflip catches just randomly. Like you got to go work on that stuff.
Yeah.
As anything that you do in sports. So like, dude, we got set times for like practice, we got set times for, like, rehearsals where we're, like, dancing and stuff.
Mhm.
Like, we got times where we do those things to where these guys can kinda get better at that. Like, we used to have this thing I remember before we became, like, Banana Ball, like, we used to have this thing where it was like, "Hey, flip the switch." Where it was like, "Hey, like, we got to flip the switch and be locked in on baseball, and then we got
Yeah.
to flip that other switch and be like, hey, we got to entertain
Yeah.
because that's who we are. Like we entertain always. That's what we
Yeah.
do.
And
And
that's
I
the
feel
other
like
thing.
I feel like the part of entertainment is just the baseball being good,
Yeah.
which is why
Oh,
I'm here. My
absolutely.
job, one of my main job, I think, is like, of course, like to be fans first, but it's also like hey, like let's make sure these guys are prepared. Like I'm gonna be available to like throw them BP if they want extra ground balls or
Mhm.
if they want to do anything. Like I caught a bullpen, scared for my life in that bad boy because I haven't caught like a legit bullpen in years.
Yeah.
So I was like, but one of our pitchers needed to throw, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna catch it. Screw it. I got blown up. My thumb's still sore.
Yeah. Yeah. No, dude, and it's crazy, like, you see and, like, the crazy part to me too, and me and Bryan have talked about this, but you see, like, these guys that have come out and done stuff with you, like, I was telling you about Shane Victorino
Yeah,
playing with you guys out in, Las Vegas, but you see these guys go out and do it, and you see what's crazy is if you watch it and you watch any highlights and you see how much fun they're having, and they
yeah.
played baseball at the highest
I
level,
mhm.
like, and that's what's crazy to me. And again, like, I see where we can all agree that you can see where people will say that, banana ball is gimmicky or whatever, but
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you right now, there's nobody that I coached or that I played with that could go out there and do a backflip without trying, like without practicing it, and just do a
Yeah.
backflip and catch a ball. Like, there's
Well,
maybe one person, it's Kiefer Beatty, but that kid's on another level as far as athleticism. But yeah,
and what's funny is like people, which I get it because this is an easy way to explain what we do is
yeah,
to be like, hey, like they're Harlem Globetrotters except it's baseball, and y'all being baseball guys, like you can't fix baseball. That's why the MLB All Star Game is like a lot better compared to an NBA game
hmm,
because NBA game you cannot play no defense and you'd be like, oh, okay, that's good. But with baseball, you got to throw a pitch, you got to swing the bat and
yeah,
actually hit the ball. So you can't rig baseball. So people all the time would be like, oh yeah, like y'all win all the time, right? And I'm like, no, we don't.
no,
Like we
no,
really we don't. Like this is actually competitive. These guys, we have 4 teams going to 6 next year. Like there's guys out there trying to actually compete because I mean, at the end of the day, it's a job. It's like
yeah,
professional baseball is a job. If you don't do good at your job, then guess what? We could possibly find somebody else that could do that job. So
yeah,
I mean, it's a grind for sure. Like we want to put out the best product. And the best product is like being able to entertain, being able to actually have really good baseball while entertaining.
yes,
So that's the thing for us, like, and being fans first, of course. That's like the number one principle.
yeah,
If it don't
no.
benefit our fans, then we're not doing it.
Yeah, and I'll say this too to anybody out there listening: these guys, these players, and these coaches are 100% fans first. When we were in Nashville, we came on the field after, and people are, still coming up to Fox, and he's trying to enjoy time with us, and is still taking the time to sign autographs. And I'm sitting there watching Rack, who's got his people there, and kids are running up to him and he's still signing autographs. Like, everybody that was on that field, player or not, if they were associated, between the Bananas and the Party Animals, they take that extra time to sign that autograph. And me and you have talked about it, Rack staying and you having to force him to get on the bus to stop signing autographs because you have to go because you're going to miss your flight, and he's still sitting
Yeah.
there signing.
Yeah, and that starts from the top, man, like our owner.
Yeah.
So our owner, dude, after games, like when we're at a big major league stadium, like he literally like and we don't for big major league stadiums, we don't go out after the games to sign autographs because we do so much kind of before the game. But like our owner, like they'll have like a little plaza party where like the cast members, like the band, our dance first base coach and everything like that, they'll go out there party with the fans, sign autographs, and our owner will not leave until he signed the last autograph. The last person
Yeah.
there, he will not leave. And so from that standpoint, I'm like, it starts from the top when it comes to like, hey, like if our owner's out there doing that stuff, then why can't we do that stuff? Like I never forget Emily Cole, who's married to Jesse Cole. She's one of the owners of the team. I will never forget whenever like we were in the CPL days and we were trying to get prepared. I think it might have been a playoff game, and the field had like weeds on it, and literally our owner Emily Cole was out there cutting like with scissors, cutting the weeds out of the field so the field would look nice. And that was the moment when I told Gillum, I was like, dude, how can you not want to work with a company like this where the owners are out there doing stuff to the field? Because it's like, hey, like they're gonna be right there with you working. It's
Yeah.
not like they're sitting at the top and looking down like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this. They're right there next to you, putting in the same work, signing every autograph, being fans first, talking to every fan. So like, how can you not want to come like work for an organization like that? I tell
Yeah.
people even when I was gone for a little while, I was like, dude, those were some of the best people I've ever been around in my life.
Yeah, no, and they are, man, and it's a testament to what you guys are doing, and the biggest thing is I hope it continues on, man. You guys have absolutely captivated people with social media and the age that we live in, and I mean there are people that I see it on Facebook all the time. People get to go to one of your games and they're talking about now their kid wants to play baseball,
Yeah.
and now their kid's engaged, and it's amazing what you guys are doing. I mean, it's just amazing in the simplest form. And I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy. B, you got
Yeah.
anything?
No, man. This has been like I'm just a fan outside looking in,
Yeah.
just like the rest of the audience looking in. It's been a great story, um, and I I guess something I'll insert is I remember I want to say it was 2021 the first time the Savannah Bananas started coming across my like TikTok and Instagram feed, and I was like, because I've actually been to the Harlem Globetrotters probably 8 or 9 times because they come through Orlando a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
my
Really?
middle school coach actually played for the Generals, which is the team they always play,
Yeah.
um, and and as much as I love the Harlem Globetrotters, like after a couple of times, I'm like, man, this is especially when you actually go to like NBA games, you're like, man, this is fun, it's entertaining, but like kind of for little kids. So I remember my initial thought when I was kind of like a boomer. My first couple of times seeing Savannah Bananas, I was like, man, I'm a baseball purist. This stuff is silly. They're dancing. I would never go to this. I was like, I'm not paying $50 to $200 for these tickets. It's a whack job. This ain't gonna last. And then like I guess the following season, like 2022, I started coming around and I started thinking, I was like, and I think because the first couple of times it was more like I was seeing like a lot of the dancing and the skits and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and I started seeing like the trick plays and stuff. I was like, man, like I know how hard it is just to like show up every day, prepare, work on your fundamentals, take batting practice, and try to square up a ball 4 times in one game. And these dudes
Yeah.
are doing backflips behind the back, ground ball fielding and
Catching.
throwing it to first and getting guys out and all that crazy stuff. I was like, man, these dudes are legitimately talented. And then I started to think like these dudes must be like legitimately talented and have to work really, really hard, obviously,
Yeah.
to be able to show up every day and do this. And like you said, the biggest thing is one thing. It's one thing doing this in like a scrimmage or like an inner
Mm-hmm.
squad. It's another thing doing this in front of 5,000 people. It's a whole other thing. A lot of guys, I know guys that poop their pants playing in front of like 3,000 people, let alone 50,000
Yeah.
and trying to entertain other
Mm-hmm.
people. So me and my wife have actually been trying to go to the game for like the last couple of years, just hasn't lined up with our schedule or vacations and try to keep up with my daughter that's in college now. But we're
Yeah.
definitely looking forward to trying to go to a game next year. We're pumped and hopefully you're still coaching with the team and I
Yeah.
get to meet you in
I'll
person.
I'll be here for sure. Hey, whenever you want to show up, man, or whenever you can show up, wherever it's at, dude, just let me know and I got you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, nah,
Sure,
man.
man.
Fox, it's been a blast, dude. We'll have to do a part two because there's
Yeah.
so much more to
Oh,
cover,
bro.
man.
I know. Hold on. I got a question for y'all.
All right, hit us.
All right, this is about football.
Okay.
Y'all think the Falcons going to the Super Bowl or what?
Super Bowl's a stretch. Super Bowl's a stretch. I think they are winning the South. I think that they are making bold prediction. They're going to make a second round exit. They're going to win the first round and make a second round exit.
Tough.
You don't want to know my opinion.
What I want to know your opinion.
I I think they have a similar year to what they had the last time they were in the Super Bowl. I
Um,
think I think this is I won't say the team's name, but this is not about that team, but literally with every other team that goes to the Super Bowl and the amount of wear and tear Saquon did having the year he did, and like I'm an AJ Brown guy, played here in Oxford, Mississippi, like Washington College, Washington for the Titans, and I could see this year being kind of tumultuous and them like stumbling into first place or like being tied for first with the Commanders and another team being the first overall seed, and then them like kind of wobbling into playoffs and like kind of like Gavin said, having the first or second round exit because it's so hard to get locked back in after a Super Bowl year.
I'm about to say that, that long grind of a Super Bowl year is crazy. But that's why I tell people all the time, they be like, man, because like I like the Falcons and I like the Chiefs because my dad's side of the family is from Oklahoma, and who they cheered for was Kansas City. So, and I tell people will be hating on the Chiefs, and I'm like, dude, you know how hard it is to kind of go to Super Bowls every single year? That's tough. And then they'll be like, oh, the Chiefs are starting slow. Patrick Mahomes not having a great year, and I'm just like, dude, he was just playing 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's crazy, and it's crazy. They'll be back again this year, and it's like,
okay. Listen. Next time we get Fox on, we'll let you guys have a Chief powwow, and I'll sit in the background.
We'll just have him on. Hey, if you're free Sunday afternoon, we'll have you on the Bleacher Boys official sports podcast. And we'll just talk shop.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We got to start doing our. I mean, we've already kind of done some, but we got to start doing our like NFL and fantasy football predictions and all that kind of stuff coming up, and covering all this news coming out. And preseason starts this weekend, so we got a lot of stuff to cover. So we'd love to have you on it as an addition to our show because we need we don't need it, but we love to have a great person come in and talk.
I'm down, bro. Like, I told Gavin a while ago, like, hey, like I want to be on the show. Like, put me on.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll have to do it.
This is my first time hearing about it, so you can blame that on Gav not having you on.
Well, he's slow, man. Like,
okay, all right.
Like,
this is my exit sign. This is my exit sign. I got work in the morning. I'll catch y'all.
All right,
hey, peace out, everybody. Thank y'all
appreciate
for tuning
it.
in, and we'll see y'all on the flip side.
Yep. Hey, y'all go. Anybody?